This is the declassified Department of Justice document on the Office of Legislative Affairs to Senator Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Hearsay, things I overheard. Those are direct quotes from the main source Christopher Steele used. I never thought it would be used in any kind of report. It should all be taken with a grain of salt. Oh, and by the way, Peter Strzok saying a month after interviewing that source in February 2017, I don't think we can trust Christopher Steele's sourcing.
The FBI knew it was fraudulent from the start. They allowed it to go forward with one intention, to take down the sitting president of the United States. The problem that they ran into, of course, was that we put on a real defense and we held the government accountable. But when you start getting this information as it's being declassified, Jordan, I mean, it's breathtaking. The idea that they knew this from the beginning, that the Steele dossier, the document that James Comey briefed the then president-elect, President Trump, on January 8th in Trump Tower, briefed him on this. They knew the sources were not only unreliable, but should not even be used. The FBI knew that. And they did it and proceeded with Crossfire Hurricane anyways.
Not only that it wasn't true, the problem is they knew it wasn't true. And when you know something is not true and you continue the investigation, that's collusion. That's the kind of thing that we must stop. And that's where we need to hold people accountable.
Think about that for a moment. That the Federal Bureau of Investigation, knowing the information contained in the Steele dossier, was in fact not actually accurate, but also based on sources that could not be confirmed on any count. One of them, by the way, is an anonymous that Steele supposedly doesn't know. It was somebody he talked to for 30 minutes. And yet they take that as the basis upon which to get a FISA warrant on Carter Page, 4 of them actually, to spy on the Trump campaign.
Peter Strzok disagreed with the article I was just talking about that had the headline, Trump campaign aides had repeated contacts with Russian intelligence, stated as fact in the New York Times in 2017. Well, Peter Strzok had comments disagreeing with that. The document demonstrates that Peter Strzok, and this is the document that was newly unclassified, and others in FBI leadership positions must have been aware of the issues with the Steele dossier that the FBI's interview with Steele's primary subsource revealed, because Strzok commented that, quote, recent interviews in investigation, however, reveal Steele may not be in a position to judge the reliability of his subsource network.
Essentially what he's saying there is plainly there's no there, which we had already heard from him in a text. But Jay, the previous work that we and others have done have shown what Peter Strzok actually did. Despite knowing that there was no there, I'm holding a document from July 31st, 2016, opening Crossfire Hurricane, Peter Strzok's signature. I'm also holding a document responding to the January 4th, 2017 Washington Field Office memo recommending the closing of Crossfire Razor. Peter Strzok overturned that. So imagine, Jay, with those documents being out in the public because of the work that's already been done, and now the new information that's been released today. Imagine being Peter Strzok, or maybe this, Jay. Imagine being his attorney today.
Despite knowing all of this, they concocted and continued this investigation, which ends up with the appointment of Robert Mueller. Let's not forget that the auspices, the beginning, the foundation of Bob Mueller's appointment is this probe. And they knew there was nothing there. So this was a setup from the beginning.